This family didn't move into a haunted house. They moved into a prison where the paintings were alive. The story begins in January 1968, where we meet a dying woman, Anna, and her husband, Clive. Anna is slowly dying, not from illness, but because something malevolent has attached itself to her body, draining her life away day by day. What Clive is about to do has already failed once. He just doesn't know it yet. Clive, desperate and terrified of losing his wife, becomes consumed with the idea of saving her at any cost. One night, he takes Anna's ring and travels to a large hall to perform a forbidden ritual. Before the ritual begins, we're shown how it works. Candles are arranged around a blank canvas, paints are carefully placed nearby, and a personal item belonging to the possessed person is positioned at the center. The person performing the ritual must chant specific invocations, summoning the dark presence and commanding it to reveal itself by painting its own face onto the canvas. This ritual isn't summoning something new, it's waking up something that never left. Clive prepares everything and begins reciting the words.
To the oppressive entity that is taking control of my wife, reveal yourself!
Almost instantly, the atmosphere shifts. The paints lift on their own, spilling across the canvas as if guided by invisible hands. Slowly, an image forms. Frozen in terror, Clive watches as a naked female figure appears inside the painting, alive. In a sudden, violent moment, she bursts out of the canvas and attacks him. From this moment on, the house no longer belongs to the living. Elsewhere, Anna wakes up after hearing the disturbance. When Clive appears before her, something is terribly wrong. He is no longer himself. The entity has taken control, wearing a twisted grin as it lunges toward her. The story then jumps 5 months forward to June 1968. Another family now steps into the aftermath, completely unaware they've already been chosen. We're introduced to Evelyn, her husband Adam, their son Nelson, and their 2 daughters, Janice and little Lucy. Adam works as a carpenter, but business has been slow. Although he presents himself as a devoted family man, there is a side of him he keeps hidden. He is secretly attached to a specific magazine and entertains private fantasies, never sharing this part of himself with Evelyn. This secret may seem harmless now, but it's exactly what the house has been waiting for. Next, we meet Janice, Evelyn's teenage daughter. She is short-tempered and easily irritated, especially with her younger sister Lucy. Despite the usual family arguments and tension, their lives appear normal until everything changes. One day, Evelyn receives an official letter from the court. Her cousin Anna has died. In her will, Anna names Evelyn as the executor of her estate. This means Evelyn is entitled to part of the property and $10,000 as an execution fee. Despite the money, Evelyn hesitates. She knows something terrible happened in Anna's house and fears bringing her family there. Adam, however, insists. Money is tight, and Adam pressures her to accept. Reluctantly, Evelyn agrees. Soon, the family arrives at Anna's mansion. As executor, Evelyn is legally responsible for the estate, managing debts, selling possessions, and overseeing renovations. As they begin sorting through the house, they notice countless old portraits lining the walls, paintings of Clive's ancestors, watching silently. Then Evelyn sees something that unsettles her deeply. Among the portraits is the same half-naked female figure seen during the ritual. Disturbed, Evelyn reacts immediately. Adam and Nelson stare at the painting with curiosity, but Evelyn orders it taken to the attic and locked away. This decision doesn't protect the family. It only gives the entity time. That night, as everyone prepares for bed, Adam tries to get intimate with Evelyn, but she refuses. Frustrated, he withdraws and returns to his hidden magazine. As he fantasizes, faint whispers fill the room, and for a moment, he thinks he sees the outline of a naked woman. He dismisses it as imagination. Meanwhile, in her bedroom, Janice notices a disturbing painting of a barber on the wall. She tries to remove it, but no strength. Uneasy, she goes to bed. In the middle of the night, something unseen begins cutting her hair, strand by strand. The next morning, Janice wakes up furious and immediately accuses Lucy. She storms into her sister's room, shouting. Evelyn intervenes and asks Lucy to apologize, but the little girl firmly denies touching her sister's hair.
Lucy! I didn't do it! Yes, you did. I know it was you. Okay, Janice, stop.
Later, Adam and Nelson leave to gather supplies while Evelyn stays behind to clean the house. As she works, Evelyn notices movement in one of the paintings. The woman inside appears to shift slightly. Shaken, Evelyn convinces herself it's nothing. Lucy runs through the house, and Evelyn follows her, only to witness the basement door closing on its own. She calls for Lucy, but the child is outside. Evelyn cautiously enters the basement. A closet door suddenly slams shut. When she opens it, she discovers Adam's hidden magazines. Hurt and angry, she confronts him. Adam responds by blaming her, claiming her rejection pushed him toward them. That night, the house finally falls silent as everyone goes to sleep. Janice, still shaken by the barber painting, covers it with a cloth before lying down. But in the stillness of the night, the painting begins to move. Beneath the covering, the barber's hands come alive once again, silently cutting strands of Janice's hair. Janice wakes up in terror and hides inside her closet. The cloth over the painting slowly shifts on its own. The figure pushes through repeatedly, reaching toward her, continuing to cut her hair. At this point, the paintings aren't watching anymore. They're practicing. Her screams echo through the house, and the family rushes in to find her hysterical. Janice insists the man from the painting stepped out of the canvas, that it was alive. Adam checks the room, but there's nothing there. He dismisses it as a nightmare and removes the painting. Evelyn, however, senses something far worse. She knows the mansion is hiding something evil, even if she can't yet explain what it is. Later that night, Adam hears the whispers again, drifting through the halls. The whispers don't call everyone. They only answer those already vulnerable. Following the sound, Adam makes his way into the attic. He feels a presence behind him, catches a glimpse of something moving in the darkness, and suddenly loses consciousness. The next morning, Evelyn wakes from a disturbing dream. A mysterious woman appeared to her, urging her to paint. The vision leaves her shaken. The house doesn't just haunt people, it recruits them. Meanwhile, Adam regains consciousness in the attic. He sees the painting of the naked woman staring back at him, her eyes glowing in the dark. Using a mirror, he reflects sunlight onto the canvas to see it clearly. Acting cautiously, he covers the painting, ties it with rope, and secures it to a chair, determined to keep it trapped. Later, when Evelyn asks where he spent the night, Adam lies, claiming he slept in the living room. Soon after, Evelyn wanders into the ritual room and discovers the original summoning book. That night, while the family sleeps, Adam returns to the attic. The moment the painting is exposed, Evelyn hears hurried footsteps racing through the house. She rushes into the hallway and sees a child running straight toward the painting. The boy's voice echoes from inside the canvas. When Evelyn looks again, the painting is blank and the child emerges and runs. What just escaped isn't a ghost, it's bait. Evelyn chases him into the basement, where someone suddenly pushes her inside and locks the door. In the darkness below, Evelyn comes face to face with the female entity. At the same time, Nelson wakes upstairs and notices the colors in the paintings melting. As he approaches, one of the paintings reaches out and pulls him inside. He struggles violently until Adam arrives and drags him free. Janice and Lucy soon arrive, witnessing the chaos. The family searches desperately for Evelyn and finally finds her in the basement, shaken after encountering the entity. With everyone gathered, Evelyn decides they must leave the mansion immediately. They believe leaving the house means escaping the curse. They are wrong. Back home, the family treats their injuries, and the tension between them slowly begins to fade. Even Janice and Lucy start rebuilding their bond. Despite the calm, Evelyn remains uneasy. She tells Adam that something about the mansion didn't add up. It felt like Clive killed Anna and then himself, but she knows the truth is far darker. While examining the ritual book again, Evelyn notices an address and follows it to a woman who owns an enormous collection of paintings. The woman explains that long ago, when people died, their spirits often wandered. To contain them, spirits were trapped inside paintings. But this practice had consequences. Evil entities learned how to move through these artworks. Although most rituals were abandoned in the early 20th century, Clive's family secretly continued them. Back at home, Janice and Lucy play in the basement, When Janice steps away briefly, the boy from the painting appears to Lucy and lures her forward. Suddenly, he grabs her, trying to pull her away. Lucy screams, and Janice rushes back just in time to save her. During their search, Janice finds the same disturbing painting of the naked woman, now inside their home. Adam examines it closely. This is the moment the film makes one thing clear: distance means nothing. Desperate to uncover the truth behind Clive's bloodline and the demons bound to the paintings, Adam heads to the library to research demonology and the family's dark history. That night, Adam tries to destroy the painting by burning it, but Evelyn stops him. She explains that it won't work. Once these entities attach themselves to someone, location no longer matters. They always return. And with that, the story begins to reveal the full history of the curse. The story traces the curse back to Clive's great-grandfather, who once became involved with a woman named Cassandra. She was frequently seen entering and leaving the family home, until one night, she was murdered. Cassandra didn't become dangerous when she died. She became dangerous when she was forgotten. After her death, tragedy followed the family relentlessly. People began to disappear, and unexplained deaths became common. Eventually, the great-grandfather and his wife were burned alive inside their home. A new mansion was later constructed on the same land, unknowingly sealing the curse into its foundation. As years passed, the family developed a disturbing obsession with immortality. They began trapping their own spirits inside paintings, believing this would allow them to move freely between the physical world and the spiritual realm. The paintings were never meant to be prisons. They were meant to be doors. Through this revelation, Evelyn finally understands the truth. Cassandra was also bound to a painting, her spirit trapped between worlds. To stop her, they must return her to where she belongs. But doing so requires a personal object connected to Cassandra, and Evelyn knows exactly where it is. Adam and Evelyn return to the mansion, instructing their children to remain safely at home. Meanwhile, as Nelson sleeps, Cassandra's spirit forms once again inside a painting in his room. When he wakes up, something is wrong. Possession in this family doesn't happen violently. It happens quietly. Guided by the dark presence now controlling him, Nelson walks into Lucy's room while she sleeps beside Janice. He lifts Lucy into his arms and carries her away. Janice senses something is wrong and rushes after them. Before she can reach them, Nelson drags Lucy into the basement and locks the door behind him. At the same time, Adam and Evelyn arrive back at the mansion. Knowing the paintings are the source of the curse, they decide to destroy them all. As Adam carries the paintings outside to burn them, Evelyn searches the house for anything they might have missed. That's when she discovers a hidden room. Inside, she finds countless eerie landscape paintings, along with a chest and a key lying on the floor. When Evelyn opens the chest, she finds stacks of old love letters exchanged between Cassandra and Ivor, Clive's great-grandfather. Beside them lies Cassandra's locket, the same object Evelyn has repeatedly seen in her visions. This isn't just proof of love, it's proof of obsession. Adam returns to collect the remaining paintings, but freezes when he realizes the figures inside them are gone. At that very moment, the same figures appear inside the hidden room. Evelyn senses movement behind her. The spirits surround her and begin to attack. Elsewhere, Adam is ambushed by the portrait of Ivor. He fights desperately and manages to break free. Hearing Evelyn's muffled screams, he runs through the mansion and finds her trapped inside the walls. He pulls her free just in time. Together, they escape outside and burn the remaining paintings, weakening the spirits and halting the curse, at least for now. On the drive home, Evelyn explains what she's learned. Ivor was a painter who discovered how to bind human souls to canvas. When he met Cassandra, they fell deeply in love and secretly planned to marry. But Cassandra later became gravely ill and died. Devastated, Ivor vowed to summon her spirit into a painting so they could reunite after death. He intended to take his own life and join her, but he never did. Feeling abandoned and betrayed, Cassandra's spirit slowly became consumed by rage. Over time, she merged with a dark entity known as a succubus, a demon from folklore that seduces its victims and drains their life force. And once it chooses someone, it never stops knocking. From that moment on, Clive's bloodline was cursed. Cassandra, now bound to the succubus, possessed the men of the family and forced them to kill their wives. Adam finally admits that the succubus also tried to possess him. As he attempts to say more, they arrive home. He hesitates, wanting to tell Evelyn something important, but before he can, Janice bursts in with urgent news about Lucy.
I need to tell you.
It's okay! It's over to the basement!
What?
Inside the house, Nelson, fully possessed, attacks Lucy. Adam arrives just in time, knocking Nelson down and locking him in the basement. Evelyn rushes the girls outside, telling Janice to take Lucy somewhere safe. In the chaos, she hands Adam the cloth from which the succubus first emerged. Together, they prepare for a final ritual. They lock the doors and gather everything they need: candles, paint, the ritual book, fabric, and Cassandra's locket. But before they can begin, Nelson escapes and destroys the power supply, plunging the house into darkness. By flickering candlelight, Adam and Evelyn reveal the cloth, now bearing Cassandra's image once more, and begin the summoning ritual, calling for Ivor, the origin of the curse and the one Cassandra truly wanted. The ritual reaches its climax, but nothing happens. Ivor's spirit refuses to appear. The ritual didn't fail because it was wrong. It failed because it was incomplete. Confused Evelyn remembers a crucial detail from the ritual book. Ivor cannot be summoned without a sacrifice. As the realization settles in, Adam steps forward. He removes his shirt and picks up a knife. Then he finally reveals the truth he's been hiding. The naked woman they saw in the attic was never just a spirit. She was Cassandra. Adam was never possessed by force. He was possessed by permission. Adam explains that one night, while Evelyn slept, he returned to the attic and found Cassandra standing there, naked. Overcome by desire and long-held frustration, he gave in. His secret habits, born from rejection, made him vulnerable, and the succubus noticed. That weakness marked him as the perfect target. Adam was never possessed by force. He was possessed by permission. Consumed by guilt, Adam harms himself to complete the ritual. Evelyn watches in shock, tears streaming, struggling to understand the horror unfolding in front of her. This isn't redemption, it's consequence. Meanwhile, Nelson, still possessed, slams against the locked door, trying to break in. With a shattered heart, Evelyn makes a final choice. She summons Adam's spirit into the painting, believing Cassandra needs what she was denied for so long. A willing companion, bound by love rather than rage. Adam's spirit appears beside Cassandra. His sacrifice binds them together, calming her fury and allowing them to coexist in fragile peace. For the first time in decades, Cassandra is no longer alone, but the moment is short-lived. Nelson bursts through the door and attacks Evelyn, still under the succubus's lingering influence. Janice rushes in to protect her mother, but Nelson violently throws her aside. Spotting a lighter nearby, Janice makes a desperate decision and hurls it toward the painting. Flames consume the section containing Cassandra. As the canvas burns, the succubus finally loses its grip. Nelson collapses, freed from possession. Lucy runs into the room, and the family reunites, broken, shaken, but alive. In the final scene, Adam's spirit is shown at peace among the collector's vast gallery of paintings. Cassandra, however, does not return. Not every spirit gets peace, only the ones willing to let go. Her bond to the living world has been severed, ending the curse at last. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe for more.